Look, I feel like Kobe 24, you know I had to ice my wrist. I've been ballin' since a young, you know I had to stack my chips. Bending corners, 12 personas, know we had to take them risks. You want a spot, then take a shot, don't give a fuck about no miss. I feel like Kobe 24, you know I had to ice my wrist. I've been ballin' since a young, you know I had to stack my chips. Bending corners, 12 personas, know we had to
The way the starter works is this, so it's off, is all the way up, on, and if you push it in, we'll start it. This button here is not the starter, this is the mode button. So this button, right now it's in street mode. You push it once, go to sport. Push it again is user mode. If you push and hold this button, this will go into here, and this is where you can customize what user mode means. So you can see the different attributes. So like a 3 is kind of like the most relaxed, and then 2 is more aggressive, 1's the most aggressive. The first setting is the Aprilia engine map, so that's a throttle map. So you give it half throttle, or you give it full throttle. It's kind of telling the motor like how much air and fuel to give the the engine. One down is Aprilia engine braking. So that's just engine braking. You can set it to be more aggressive, to engine brake harder, or for street use, it'll engine brake a little softer. Traction control levels, you have 8 different levels to choose from. Shoot, one second. So if you just push right, that's how you go. And you can turn traction control all the way off if you're that crazy. You can also turn wheelie control all the way off. 1 will be plenty tall of a wheelie to impress all your friends. You also have launch control. Launch control is basically you set it in the launch control mode, pull the clutch in, full throttle, drop the clutch, and it will launch as hard as it can. It's I've never done it on one of these bikes. I don't necessarily recommend you do it, but like if you get to that point where you feel comfortable doing that, it's something the bike will do. ABS level is again, how intrusive the ABS is. And then lastly is the suspension. So in suspension, you have active road, manual track slick, manual track, manual road, active track slick, active track, and active road. So the active modes are when the adaptive suspension is changing, to road conditions and inputs. And of course the road modes are gonna be your more, more comfortable suspension settings. When you go to track, it's gonna be more aggressive. And then track slick is a mode set up for suspension for when you have like race slicks on the bike.
Okay.
The manual modes, they basically, when you set the manual suspension settings, they're static settings. So while you have an adaptive suspension, you can set it into like manual mode, like an old school, I say old school, but just like standard suspension settings.
Okay.
So you set the rebound, you set the compression, and they just stay the same way regardless of what the road's doing. But then, of course, you have the factory, you paid extra for the adaptive suspension. So for most riding you gotta do, active road for road, and you can set up the track stuff also.
Okay.
So you have a lot of different things you can set up. When I ride this bike, I'm just putting in street mode or sport mode. Street mode if it's every day, sport if I'm being aggressive.
Okay.
The user mode is cool, you can change all sorts of stuff, but you could also get yourself in some trouble if you turn certain things off.
Yeah.
It does have a lot of horsepower. So for everyday riding, I'm like,
just leave it in
street mode is fast as fuck.
Okay.
It will not, you will not be disappointed.
Okay.
So if I push and hold right.
Is that a kickstand down?
Kickstand down just shows you have kickstand down.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
This means that the downshifter is enabled, or like the quick shifter down is enabled.
Blipper.
Yep, exactly, the auto blipper. Engine temp, and that's Aprilia traction control 6, Aprilia wheelie control 3. On this side, you see there's these 2 metal buttons. There's a plus and a minus on the other side. You can dial traction control up and down on the fly. Okay. So that's cool because, a lot of people, like if you know, if you want to know like what the difference between a 6 and a 5 is, or a 5 and a 4, you know, you can play with it while you're riding, as opposed to having to like stop, go 3 menus deep, change it, one setting, ride. You know, you can play with it while you're riding, and that. You could also set this, so this is a cruise control thing. There's a setting where you can set this to adjust wheelie control. So you could be riding along, maybe you have wheelie control of 3, you know, you want to impress your friends, you turn it to 2, and you know, whatever.
And then you can just switch it around.
Yeah, you can switch it around on the fly and have some fun with it. If you push and hold right, this is how we're going to get to our settings menu. So you have vehicle, so mode is road. A quick shifter light is set at 13.4, which is actual red line. What I would probably recommend is setting the shift light. One second. There we go. I'd recommend probably setting it at like 10, just because for the first 600 miles, you're going to want to short shift it a little bit. You're not going to want to use the whole rev range.
Okay, so for the break-in period, keep it under 10.
Yeah, and like that's just like a rule of thumb. So like if you go over, the engine's not going to blow up.
Yeah.
You know, when they do the Aprilia racer days, they take these things fresh out of the crate, put them on the track, and they're fine. But you know, you're not trying to bang it off the rev limiter during the break-in period. So and that way you have just a little like visual reminder. Quick shifter down is enabled. Calibration, I think that's for when you change wheel size. This left-hand switch, it's set on cruise, but you can also set it for wheelie control. That's this.
Okay. So it's either or. You can't be doing both.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Emergency brake is when you grab like a brake really hard and fast, it'll flash the rear brake light.
Okay.
Headlamp mode is auto. Actually, this is what we want. So in suspension control, this is where we get really complex. So let's go to active road. So in an active road, what you're doing is you're choosing what are the attributes that you want your suspension to feel like. So you know, how firm do you want the front? You know, how firm do you want the rear? Brake support is when you grab brake, it'll actually stiffen the front forks. It'll stiffen the front forks, you know, to prevent brake dive. And then, you know, steering damping, do you want it tighter or looser? And it will change with like your speed as well.
Okay.
If we go back and go to track, so track has even more settings. So active track is kind of the cooler one.
Because you have like mid-corner support.
Yeah, exactly. So mid-corner support, it's stiffening the front and the rear. Acceleration support, it's stiffening the rear to prevent squat. And then active track slick, it's already kind of set for you. But then you go to manual track, and that's when you get like your standard stuff. Compression, rebound. And you can, you know, obviously some people like that, but
I probably won't mess with that too much.
yeah, that's the whole point of having the adaptive stuff, is because it's just so much smarter and does so much more for you. Yeah. But you know, you might get, you know, maybe you go on the track and you're just trying to like do something different.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different reasons. Everybody has their own, you know, display, kind of dashboard, service. This is where you can change your user code, like the, you know, whatchamacallit, like the pin code.
Oh, okay.
What else are we missing? I think that's it. That's all I know.
All right, awesome. Appreciate you taking the time to run through it.
And then this button here, this is your daytime running lights. So you'll know those are on with that.
Okay.
They're always on. You know, bikes in the US, you can't run without headlights. The headlights will come on. But it's just like brighter. So see the front? That or this.
Oh, so this is the normal.
Yeah, so you can either run it like this.
That's normal, and then if you hit the daytime running lights, it brightens up.
Yeah, but like when you turn the bike on, the headlights will always be on.
Yeah, just be dimmer.
Yeah, it'll. This is just how bright you want this part. This just looks cool.
It's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, so that's that. Oh yeah, and I showed you, this is how you get into the menu, up, down, and this is back.
Okay.
And also if you push right, this is just shows you all the attributes. Odometer, you can go up and down, average fuel economy, average speed. Show your max speed, so you might want to erase that if you ever get pulled over. And you have like trip B, and I think to reset it, you just, I don't know. I'm sure there's some way to reset it. Anywho, yeah, and then you have steering lock is one click over right, but be careful because there's also a parking light. So this is if you ever want to lock your steering but leave your lights on. It's a great way to fill your battery.
Oh yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, because you're trying to lock it, and you just go all the way, and you're like, oh, so make sure it's only on.
It's only on the lock, not the parking.
Yeah, the parking
lights.
I think the parking light is designed so like if you got a flat tire and
you want to be visible on the side of the road.
Yeah.
But you don't want to.
But you don't want your bike stolen. It's a weird thing. Somebody came up with that idea. Also, you have these wheels are forged aluminum. They're super light. You could pick that whole wheel up like one arm.
Nice.
As opposed to the standard.
As I say, getting under the seat.
Yeah. So the key is right here. There you go. Boom. So you just turn right, and this hop off, and then there's two bolts here.
So you actually get under the rider seat.
Two. And there's a little Allen key there. You have a lithium-ion battery under there.
Okay.
One thing to make sure of is see these two little hooks. These two hooks have to hook in here, and this little thing goes in there. You want to make sure they're always already on. I had a customer who got here, he was for his service appointment, and he didn't have his cowl anymore. So you kind of hook it in and just make sure it's on there.
Okay.
You don't want to lose it.
Yeah, that would suck.
And this is not a seat. This is just for you.
Oh, so that's the little one in there. That's the actual passenger seat. Okay.
This is not for people.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be taking the passenger foot pegs off anyway.
Yeah.
So. Nice.
That's all I know.
Right
That's all
on.
I got for you.
You want to give your shop a little plug?
Yeah, well, thank you for coming to the Moto Exchange and choosing to do business with us. It means a lot. We're a small shop, but we try to do the most for our customers. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps out the channel and keeps you updated on all our latest content. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our new uploads. We've got a lot more exciting content coming your way that you definitely won't want to miss. Also, if you have any thoughts or questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. We love hearing from you and we'll do our best to respond to everyone. Finally, be sure to follow us on our social media channels for more behind-the-scenes content and updates. You can find all the links in the description below. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.